not what a cat penis looks like. Welcome to the show I like to call the Gavin and the Games. Welcome to the show, 5:30. Run a little bit late today, not too bad. It's good to have you here. Welcome to Tuesday. Nice to see you. Let's put my beautiful visage up on the screen so you guys can begin the process of masturbating. Here we go. Boom! There you go. Welcome to the show. It's nice to see you. My name is David. I went to a therapist once. I says, I don't like it when people call me Dave. And that was the whole story. He says, no, I get it. I get it. His name was Dave too. David, he said, it doesn't matter. Zeno, we'll talk about that. Zeno in the chat says, I'm still buying Suicide Squad game no matter what gaming journalists say. And then Cooper says, you're going to be disappointed. You goddamn right. We'll talk about that. All the previews dropped today, and I'll tell you something. I haven't seen previews before that have been just overtly negative like this. Back when I was in the industry, which really wasn't that long ago, people like to paint it like I haven't worked in games in ages. I still get paid working in games, and my last game was about 4 or 5 years ago. And even as recently as then, I don't think the journalists owed it to the developers, but there was sort of an unspoken, unwritten rule that said a preview, is not where you are negative. You can kind of guide the consumer a little bit, let them know maybe there's some trouble, but there was always this assumption and there was this agreement that they wouldn't come out and just rag on you. Well, I've never seen the likes of this before. We'll talk about it in just a couple minutes, Suicide Squad. In fact, I want to let you know at the top of the show that if you are a Cult of Calypso member, a God of War member, or a mod, when we get to the Suicide Squad topic, I would love to have your feedback. I'd love to have you involved in that chat. Join the Cult of Calypso room over on the Discord, and you can chat with me and whoever else wants to share their views with their voice. Zing! We can do that together. We can do it together, as the friends do, but we're not going to start with Suicide Squad. We're going to cover a bunch of other stuff first. Solid Snake pulls out his wallet. He says, Jaffe, let's kick this motherfucking thing off well. Good. Strong. Fuck you. Here's some ducats. Stick them up your butthole. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. He also sent me a little sticker of a... If you're listening and if you're listening and not watching... He didn't send a message. Thank you, Solid Snake. But he sent a cute little sticker of what looks to be a hippopotamus with a missile on its head and a robot arm. I don't know why, and thank you for that. I very much appreciate it. I will, I'll get Randy with it later, that particular sticker. I don't know why YouTube hasn't opened up the valve and said, hey, just like we can put our own emotes in, we should be able to put our own little stickers in that are custom. But that said, though, I sure appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. We will start with Indy. No, but we will talk about Indy in just a couple of minutes. just a couple of minutes. Okay. Kyler Williams says, can I talk to you? What? I mean, I'm here. What are you talking about? Okay. I mean, I don't know what your question is. If you want to call in on the show, yes, you can do that. Put yourself in the Discord. I don't have the red phone on, but tomorrow I will. Let me just give you guys a little bit of updates on things briefly. Tomorrow we will be doing God damn it, Jaffe. We're doing Good Morning Gamers tomorrow. That's the morning show that runs Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we always kick it off between 10:30. It'll probably be about 10 o'clock tomorrow because probably about 9 o'clock if I can make it. I'm in the morning. And that's more about, it's games, it's geek stuff, it's geek adjacent stuff. There's a lot of phone calls. There's a lot of debate, discussion. It's fun time. It's less structured than the gabbing and the games that you're watching right now. But I want to let you know that's coming up tomorrow morning. If you're into such shenanigans, we would love to have you. Love to have you. Brett Moore says, I played the Suicide Squad beta. How much can I get away with talking about? You can probably get away with talking about whatever the fuck you want. I mean, yeah, you signed an NDA. Look, let's put it this way. I played a Warner Brothers beta that when we get to the Suicide Squad story, I will be talking about. So, you know, I mean, did you play it under your name, Brett Moore? Or did you play it like under like, you know, Big Jugs Lover 6642? If it's the latter, don't worry about it. But I mean, you know, your mileage will vary, sir. That's all I will say.
Oh, let me tell you something, honey. This is not gonna leave.
You goddamn right. You goddamn right. Hang on, where'd that one go? This is my favorite.
No offense, David Jaffe, but that's bullshit.
Fuck you. What are you doing now? That's one of the girls, women, ladies from the tester that I think I voted off the show when I was a judge. And I'm sorry, but I still remember that because somebody showed me that footage from the tester. And I'm like, what is that from? And they says, well, that's from the tester. And I looked back at that footage and I'm like, yeah, because she's like, that's bullshit that you voted me off. You shouldn't have. Shut up. Shut up, idiot. I don't know if she's an idiot, but you know. All right, listen, I want to tell you something though. I want to dive in by giving you guys just a delightful recommendation. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. Sea of Stars. I've been playing it a lot last night and over lunch today, long lunch today, because I fucking love this game. And I was like, what is it about this video game that I like so much? I was thinking about it. I think there's a number of things. You know, I love the mechanics of the game because I think when you look at it, okay, that's a good idea, Masochista. Sony should bring back the tester, but with a Squid Game twist. Oh my God, that'd be great. And like if you win, or sort of like if you can like demand that one of their exclusive goes on to Xbox or something, you know, whatever. Fuck off. Listen. So I look at Sea of Stars, and look, I'm a fan of those old RPGs from the 90s, but I wasn't like chomping at the bit to play it. There's a lot of other stuff going on to play. And so, you know, I was going to get around to it maybe at some point, but it's on Game Pass. I'm like, fuck it. I downloaded it on my Game Pass PC. I started playing it. Let me tell you some of the great stuff about this game. Let me just get deep into this for a brief moment. Although I don't like hearing this, Jason in the chat says, Sea of Stars starts really strong, but in the last third, the level design is uninspired gameplay-wise and doesn't make use of any of the cool mechanics. Oh, I hate hearing that. Well, let's hope I disagree when I get to that. The mechanics are great. And let me just, everything from like, there are mini games in the combat, there's timing in the combat, like every time an enemy hits you, or you hit an enemy, you're able to kind of find that sweet spot of when to hit the button again. And if you get the timing right, you either get extra armor or you get a attack bonus. Enemies have certain, I mean, this is not the first RPG to put mini games in with their combat, but the way they do it feels a lot more seamless. Like you've got this weapon, this girl has this staff that sends out like a boomerang of light, and it hits the enemy and comes back to her. And if you can just volley it, every time it comes back, if you can get the timing right, you can do like a 30-hit combo with this motherfucking thing. It's really deep in that way. Sneaking up on enemies that you can see like Chrono Trigger. But if you actually sneak up behind them and you hit attack, you'll get like a little bonus damage, and it'll also drop some items that are very useful for you in the upcoming battle. I understand that Zelda, this is not the first game to collect ingredients to cook stuff, but I haven't played an RPG like this where instead of collecting hit point potions or mana potions, you're actually collecting lettuce and tomatoes and potatoes and all kinds of shit. And then you can actually cook this stuff, and it's like, hey, I want to cook more magic-based stuff, or I want to cook more power-based stuff. It's very simple mini games. It's not even mini games. It's very simple collecting, but it just really works well for this kind of game. And the last thing, I just got to it last night. I'm very early, but they have this mechanic where you can speed up the cycle of the day or rewind the cycle of the day. So you can kind of make it go from dark to night or night to dark and anywhere in between. And there are these puzzles where the sun, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, is shining into this gem, and it sends out this reflection on the floor. And then you can kind of change where the sun is by changing the time of day to aim that beam of light to a place that you actually need it to solve puzzles. It's very clever. It's heartfelt. The writing is great. What I love about the writing, I would say it's like 25% heart. Like, I love the characters. There's some angst. There's a little pathos, but it feels more like 75% high adventure. And there's a little bit of real in there. It kind of reminds me of the conversation / argument I'm having with a bunch of people online about the Kratos thing. It's like, I don't not want characters that have some depth and meat and all that stuff. I just don't want that to be the mainstay in certain types of games. And this is one I think that gets that balance great. You like the characters, you can relate to them. They have this best friend that tags along who's just awesome, great character. But it's still a great deal of fucking fun. There's a lot of adventure, a lot of exploring, a lot of little fucking details. Let me tell you something, Linda. I'm playing it right now on Xbox Game Pass on my PC, but I mean, it's everywhere. The last thing I'll tell you, though, I love all the little fucking details in this game. I like how even on the title screen, when you add members to your party, like it starts with the main guy and girl that you see on the screen sitting by a campfire. And then as you add members to your party, when you reboot up the game and it's a new title screen, your new members of the party are sitting around the campfire. It's just, they just thought of a lot of little nice touches, and it feels very much like the game has a lot of heart, and it was made with love. It's from the guys who made The Messenger, which is a wonderful fucking throwback 8-bit ninja platform game. This is their second game, came out 4 months ago. It's the shit. So I recommend it. How long is it, Cooper? People are saying you need about at least the Xbox. Whenever you go to Xbox Game Pass on PC, it'll tell you the average amount of time that you need to play, the people to beat it. It's like 26 hours, I think, is the average time to complete it. Wait, did we just get Xeno 3XL? I didn't get a pop that told me he joined, but it looks like he joined. And for that, I want to say thank you, buddy. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the membership. I see your name all lit up in green, so this goes out to you. This, and of course this.
I can't help but be racist. It's true.
It is absolutely true. Damn it, Jaffe, you make me want to play it, says Wayne, but I have so many games. Oh, I know. This is bad. It's bad of me, too. I'm already breaking my resolution. I shouldn't be playing anything new right now, but I couldn't help it. It looks so good. It is good. I'm very curious, by the way, where do I bug out on this game? I rarely finish games, and so I'm wondering... I'm going to be very present of mind and conscientious about when I lose interest and put it away. Because so far, and it may be where that guy earlier was saying it's the last third. I don't know. But I'm super excited to continue playing it. So, Bill Bone says it's free right now on PlayStation Plus Extra as well. Oh, sorry. Is Xeno new or is Levi new? I don't know which one's new, but welcome to you both. I appreciate you being here. Jaffe, did you finish Baldur's Gate 3? No, I did not. I haven't abandoned it, but I'm in this part of the I'm kind of a completionist these days, so I'm still in Act 1 because I want to do every single thing in Act 1. And so I'm in this area with all this lava, this kind of underground Dwarf Kingdom, where I've pretty much killed everybody, and now I'm trying to solve this crazy puzzle or something. I don't fucking know. But it's good. Jaffe, do you play any live service games except for Call of Duty? Yeah, I play the shit out of not Hearthstone. I used to play the shit out of Hearthstone. I play the shit out of Marvel Snap. I adore Marvel Snap, and their new season is pretty fucking good. All right, but anyway, there's Sea of Stars. Something to think about. What I am curious though, and I get it, there are going to be people watching this that immediately just go, I didn't buy a $500 fucking console to play a fucking game like that. And I get it. That's fine. Don't play it. I don't give a fuck. But I look at something like this. This is a game made by again, I keep finding these games that are like 9 people, 12 people made this fucking thing, give or take. And it's one of the best things I've played so far last year of a 2023 release. And I don't think these kind of games should take the place of the big games. But I look at like Luna or Game Pass or PS Plus or Netflix, and I like exclusives. I know people are like, exclusives suck. I think exclusives are great. I think a team like this, a Sony or an Xbox or an Amazon goes to them and says, hey, we want people to subscribe to our service. Your next game, at least for the first year, is exclusive just to our service, day one, free on our subscription service. I think that motivates businesses and publishers to fight over developers. It's great for developers. So, I really hope... I know this game is done well. I don't know how well it's done, but I really, really hope that these guys and other companies like it are able to really make a go of it with games like this that don't have a home at retail, because it's fucking great. Eddie says, it looks really good. I'm waiting for physical. It's wild to see the Chrono Trigger team praise it. I thought so as well. What I'm wondering about is, have they announced a physical for this yet? I would imagine if someone like Limited Run does this, you're going to get a beautiful fucking package. That's what she said. You're going to get a beautiful fucking package with all kinds of tchotchkes and good things. Hell, I want little characters. I want little statues of these guys. I Am 8-Bit is doing it. Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. Kyle says exclusives are what makes it worth buying any system. Right. Or subscribing to any service. Again, I mean, I think we all benefit, especially when you can just cancel. Anyway, you know my take on it. But yeah, I'm with you. I think subscription and or exclusives in both is great. CR says, Jaffe, have you heard of the Switch 2 rumors? $400, 8 gigabytes of RAM, only 64 gigs of storage. Thoughts? I don't care. And I don't mean that like I don't care that you've shared it with me. I appreciate you sharing it with me, but I play games. I buy consoles for the games that I can only play on those consoles. Nintendo has never let me down. Even I enjoyed my Wii U. And so I'm super excited if there are games that I can only play on Switch, or if Switch comes with something that's really interesting that the other systems don't, then I'll pick it up. But I'm not just... Nintendo's never... The only time Nintendo has excited me about hardware is when they do something gimmicky that ends up being genuinely valuable. Like the dual screen, I thought there were some great uses of that in the DS and the 3DS, which is one of my favorite systems. Obviously, I don't do portable gaming, but I get the portability of the Switch. That's a big deal. The Wii U, I always thought was a gimmick, but I know a lot of people liked it. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited because it means Nintendo's going to keep making games, but there's nothing about the hardware you're describing that doesn't mean anything to me, because it's like a car. It depreciates, or it's out of date the minute you kind of drive it off the lot. Yeah, Nintendo games are good games. Doesn't matter the hardware, says V. I agree. Big Afro Man, you old knucklehead. Thank you, buddy. He's back in here spending like Big Daddy Warbucks. Big Daddy Afro Man is what you meant, Jack. Did she speak? She didn't speak.
How dare you?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, buddy. You gave Billy Bones his very own membership to the Diet Soda Soldiers, Big Afro Man. I sure appreciate that. And I'm sure Billy B does too. And Masochist has stepped back up. He says, Jaffe, I don't like being left out in the cold like a little Dickensian character looking up nose against the glass with the bowl going, man, some rice. I get it. And with that, I appreciate you ponying up your ducats and putting them in the till and saying, I want to be part of this crazy nonsense, Jaffe. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Masochista. Appreciate it, buddy. Jaffe, if Nintendo just became a full dev instead of a hardware manufacturer, wouldn't that be better for them? I mean, not right now, but ultimately that's the way it's all going anyway. Do you know what I saw? I saw some stats. This is related to what you're saying, but I saw some stats coming out of the UK about games that sold this year, 2023, last year. And, you know, it's interesting because they said 92% of gamers and people who buy movies or stream movies or music, it was all digital. 92%, it was all fucking digital, right? So my point is, and most of that was movies, they said. They said this was the first year since 2012 that video games were not the number one money-making medium. It was movies because everybody has the streaming services now. And so, you know, I think it's clearer, you know, what the tea leaves are saying. So I think ultimately everyone's going to go third party. There is going to be no party. It's just going to be streaming to your TV. I almost pulled the trigger last night, but then I was like, you know what? I don't know if I have the time yet on, what's the goddamn thing called? GeoForce Now. The only thing I could get in on, because everything else was booked, they're literally sold out of all their other options, was $100 for 6 months of their highest end streaming. And I was looking at Cyberpunk and I was just like, man, Cyberpunk played at the highest level, which my computer can't run very well, but I could do it if I streamed. It just looks fucking amazing. And I was so close to doing it. And even if you have Game Pass, you have to own the games. Or you can have Game Pass. And if you have Game Pass, you can link your Game Pass account to your GeoForce Now account. And you can play all the Game Pass games on the highest settings as well. So, I mean, this is where we're going. We know that. Slow Laura says GeoForce Now is solid. Right. And Eric says, well, Eric, I don't know if you're playing Game Pass on okay, so you're not using GeoForce, you're using your Samsung TV and it's great. Right. I mean, this is where we're going. And I don't make a big discussion out of it. Agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. That's where we're going. The numbers don't lie. Why don't I buy a pre-built? I don't want a pre-built. If I can play the highest level of games by streaming, I'm happy as a goddamn clam. Big Afro Man, buddy, thank you. He steps back up to the plate. He says, I'm not done hitting. What the fuck you think I am? A goddamn rookie that gets... God damn it, Jaffe, don't talk sports analogies. You can barely finish the sentence. Just do this, Jaffe. Just say thank you and move on. Big Afro Man, thank you for gifting a membership. It goes out to the great Cooper. Appreciate it, buddy. You're money bags tonight, and I sure appreciate it. I'm sure Cooper does as well. Everybody give Big Afro Man a space in their sexual dreams tonight. I sure bet he would appreciate it. Thank you, bud. And then Big Afro Man also, he's curious. He says, do you think Sony will ever update us on what games are coming in the future, like Xbox is about to do? I mean, so far Sony doesn't have to do a goddamn thing, because right now, no matter what any other developer's doing, they can't sell enough of these goddamn PlayStation 5s, and they can't sell enough of their fucking games. So, and they just had like a record monthly active user. I think it was like 123 million over the Christmas holidays or over December. So I don't think they need to. I don't really understand the value of it, other than the only thing I can think of is this, is that because they have so little competition from Xbox right now, only if they feel with the Activision deal and with what they're going to announce in a couple weeks that we'll talk about in just a second, only if they feel, okay, we're getting now to the point that these guys are starting to show their hand. And whether Phil Spencer's master plan pays off or not is TBD. But if it does, then you're going to have some choices to make about what you buy. But until that happens, you know, I'd love to see it. I'm curious, but I don't think there's a need for it. But wouldn't that be great? I would love to see what the fuck these people are working on. Absolutely. Okay. He says, Metalhead says, Jaffe, how are you not burned out playing games? It's been a year for me and I can't get myself to turn on the PC again. I think it depends on, I think it depends on what you play, man. I play, and I have another show every Saturday afternoon or night. I don't know what we're calling it yet. Right now it's called Games for Gamers. That's terrible. But I highlight and play through, 4 to 6 unique games that most people don't really know about, right? I know Spazbo knows about this because he's the only other person I have friended on Steam that got this game. There's a new game on Steam, a demo called it's a horror game. It's almost like a horror game meets meets an RPG kind of sort of first person. It's called, and this is one of the games I'll be playing this week. It's called Divine Frequency, right? And it's really fucking good, and it's really fucking unique. I'm playing Shotgun King right now, which is literally a game of chess where you have only your king left and you have a shotgun. I mean, I'm playing so many different types of games that no, I do not get bored. But I would tell you that if all I'm playing is kind of the main stuff, I'd be bored out of my fucking mind. Abso-fucking-lutely. But that's not what I'm doing. CR, it doesn't matter. You know what I wish? I saw this on NeoGAF. What were these guys talking about today? It was they were bitching about something. And I was just like, wouldn't it be great if hardcore fans were able, maybe it was the digital 92% thing in the UK. I don't know what it was. I could go back and look it up, but it's not the point. The point is, it would be so great if hardcore hobbyists and fans of the medium could go, I don't like that. That's not for me. But I totally get how the mainstream audience won't give a fuck. So when you come to me, CR, and say, Jaffe, streaming's still not there yet. You're not getting 1-to-1. There's always going to be lag, bud. Yeah. And guess what? 92% of the population doesn't give a fuck. They don't care. And the games will get better at dealing with the lag and the distance between you and the server farm, and the internets will get better, just like digital. I downloaded my first video game ever when I was about 12. It was Super Mario Brothers, and I stole it off the internet or whatever it was called back then, some BBS from my Apple IIe. And I thought I was fucking hacking the Pentagon. I was terrified the government was going to come get me out of school the next day. I was just seeing war games or whatever. But this motherfucking thing took about 5 hours to download the arcade version of Super Mario. And now I can barely blink and I got brand new games downloaded, ready to go. 20, 50, 100 times the size of that fucking game. More than that. So I get it. It's not perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. But there's a point, and I don't know what people who went and got MBAs call it. I'm sure there's a name for this. But a lay way to talk about it is to call it a tipping point. But there's a point where convenience and cost outweigh the limits of what come sacrificed because of the convenience and the cost. And that's when you hit that sweet spot. And that's where you start getting into massive fucking numbers. Okay. So do I think aficionados will always go, I'm not going to fucking play Street Fighter 15 streaming. Are you fucking high? Okay, cool. But you're a minority now. Accept it, own it, embrace it. Be okay with that. You're not in the cool kids club anymore. You're not in the cool kids Burger King club anymore. You're just a little minority now. It's called the Great Replacement Theory. Come on now. Thoughts on World of Demons from Platinum Games being delisted and lost from Apple Arcade, says Eddie T. I don't know. I mean, I played it. I didn't care for it all that much. I have to assume that, I think Platinum owns the IP, right? Apple doesn't own the IP. So Apple may not have wanted to pay them, or maybe now they want to take it and actually sell it. I have no idea. But it's the way of the world. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. CR says, I'm not going to get into it with you. I'm not misunderstanding normies. They do care about performance and lag. They don't. I'm not saying they don't. Like I said, there is a limit where they go, this is good enough. Just like, yes, can you get the coolest, bestest, awesomest picture and sound if instead of downloading 4K from Netflix, you get 8K uber crazy discs that you can only get, on the internet, and you get the best sound? Yeah, but most people don't care. Most people just want to play a good game, watch a good movie, move on with their goddamn lives. Did I play the Alex Jones game? I saw it, but it's $20 and I'm like, why the fuck would I want to play it? I mean, unless it's really good. The humor didn't seem very pointed. It seemed very easy, oh no, this is what they always say about the left. I mean, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not going to pretend that it's like the height of comedy or height of insight or observational comedy. And then the gameplay just looked okay. But if people say it's great, I'll get it. Jaffe, did you ever buy a TV with the Xbox Gaming Hub? Most Samsung 21s and newer support it. Yeah, I haven't yet. I'm waiting. I want to see what's happening at CES, but none of the TVs they've shown at CES, they're crazy expensive. Like, I ain't spending $14,000 on a goddamn television set. Maskista says, my girlfriend's brother's happy as fuck with his Series S. My son's in his room right now playing his Series S Grand Theft Auto on the goddamn Game Pass with his buddies. He and millions of others don't care about graphics like the hardcore. I agree. Kyler says, Jaffe, this is why XR, what's that, needs to pick up because streaming will interrupt our consumption. I don't know what XR is. Okay, let's move forward, shall we? Let's move forward with our goddamn lives. Oh my God, that's so good. All right. I'm excited for this. I was thinking about this. Why am I excited? It's just okay, there's a couple reasons I'm excited. This is the Xbox Developer Direct. January 18th, goddamn right, we'll be streaming it right here on this very channel. Avowed will be there. We're going to talk about that in a second. Indiana Jones, come on, man. I'm such an Indy fan. I can't wait. We're going to talk about that. People were saying, what's this Oxide? Oxide will be there with that Ava game. There are a bunch of guys who worked on Civ 5 Civilization games. Not my cup of tea, but, great. And then Hellblade 2 will be there. If you read this article right up here on your TV screen, it's interesting because the Hellblade 2 doesn't sound like they're going to show you much. Ninja Theory takes us behind the scenes at their studio to give us some insight on how they're crafting the game. Who gives a shit? The team will speak to the ambition and meticulous care involved. Fuck you, show me some gameplay. They showed a little bit. At Keeley's last show, the Game Awards, and that was kind of exciting to start to see, but I'm a little worried about the fact that, what? But we get saved a little bit because Avowed, listen to this. Avowed's going to show us some good stuff. They say, I'm going to put on the trailer actually while let me move this off my screen because I don't know if you've seen the trailer. The last trailer these guys put out for Avowed is this. I'll turn the volume off, go full screen while we're talking about it. Can you see that? Maybe. Wait, where'd it go? I don't know. I think I'm still streaming. We'll find out. Anyway, so yeah, Avowed. They're showing this. This is what they say. They're going to share the first deep dive into the gameplay experience that you can expect. So we're getting into gameplay. We're getting into probably the RPG trees and upgrades. We're getting into how actually nonlinear this is. Fantasy action RPG from a great developer who is known for doing a lot of nonlinear good gameplay. Learn about how Obsidian expertise in building worlds with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity come to life in Avowed when players will have the agency to make choices to shape every step of their adventure. I didn't say Valve. Did I say Valve? No, I meant Obsidian. I'm sorry. If I said it, I was trying to say something else. But no, I said Avowed. Avowed. I'm like, why would I confuse that? No, yeah, it's Avowed. Yeah, but I'm with you. Eddie T says, we always get behind the scenes crap about Hellblade. If it's not gameplay, I don't care. I agree. My understanding, though, is all of these games, including Indiana Jones now, is apparently, at least according to leaks, going to be out 2024. So, you know, I mean, it's an exciting time that we're in. This is some cool stuff. And I'm interested for Avowed. I really am. I'm interested to see if, even though this is 6 months ago, what you're looking at on your screen, I don't think it's the most beautiful looking fucking game in the world. But if there's lots of freedom and choices and the story's cool and good, I don't give a fuck. And you know, this may be the Bethesda game that people wanted Bethesda to make with StarCraft, Starfield, whatever. Fuck you. Manbear says, I recently played Obsidian's The Outer Worlds. It started fun, but every single conversation turned into corporations are bad. No, I agree with that. I did not like the writing, Manbear J, in Outer Worlds. I thought it was, I liked the game, but I couldn't stick with it. It just definitely was not all that conceptually compelling. But I know a lot of people liked it. But I agree, though. CR3D says Obsidian has yet to make a shit game, so I'm marginally excited. I'm excited too. They did make that spy game, which I don't think was a shit game, but it ran shit for the longest time, so I could never really play it. But I heard if you could get it working, it was a pretty fucking good game. I forget what it was called. Yeah, I agree. Eddie T says, I always get Avowed confused with Everwild. Both have terrible names. They do, and they both look generic. But that's, you know, Skyrim looks generic. I mean, it's trope, it's Tolkien, it's swords and sorcery, right? These games work or live or die, or can live or die, less on that, more on just the freedom, and whatnot. Real quick, just a couple, yeah, I never said that, people wanted, where's this guy? Stephen Avery says, nobody wanted Starfield to be fantasy. Yes, I know. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the, freedom and the, you know, the next big step in RPGs and whatever. Now, there's nothing here they're showing that would suggest it's the next big step in RPGs. But again, they haven't revealed any of that yet. So hopefully we'll see some of that. So I'm excited. Alpha Protocol is what the spy game was called. That's right, Joel. Thank you, buddy. Kyler says, I saw Evil West on PS Plus. I added it to my PS5. It looks cool. It's a great game. Gets repetitive. I couldn't finish it because of that, but it's a great fucking game. I enjoyed it very, very much. All right, let's get back to the conference, though, because I want to talk about Indiana Jones for a minute. Okay, let me pause this. Sorry, fellas. Okay. Okay, Indiana Jones, here's what they're saying. They're saying that we're going to get 10 minutes of just Indiana Jones, okay? We are going to see, put up on the screen there for you, hang on. They're going to be showing us more than 10 minutes of gameplay and developer insights, including details about the game's setting and story, how fans will actually play as Indy, additional details from his next globetrotting adventure, and the premiere of the first gameplay trailer. So somebody was asking, is it all going to be CG? I mean, that doesn't sound like it's going to be CG. And apparently they're saying it's coming out in, like I said, this year. This was a game, according to this news story, or a news story I read earlier, that was supposed to drop in 2022, at the end of 2022, and then COVID came along and fucked everything up, which means they must be pretty fucking far along with this thing, which it kind of sounds like it. So I'm excited we may get this year. Here's some thoughts on this, though. You know, is it going to be, I don't care if it's exclusive or not. I just care if it's on Game Pass. I know lately there's been some rumors, and not even rumors. We've seen games like Hi-Fi Rush rated for the Switch. So we know that they're going to be expanding. Microsoft is going to be expanding at least some of their exclusive titles to other consoles. I'm not sure if this one's going to fall into that. Like, they're like, dude, it's indie. You got to put it everywhere. I don't fucking know. But we'll see. I'm curious about, are they going to be doing Harrison Ford? Are they going to be, getting his voice, a lookalike for the cutscenes? Or if it's third person, I hope it's first person, but whatever. It's indie. All indie's good indie for the most part, unless it's Crystal Skull. But, I'm very curious if they are, do they have the image rights for Harrison Ford, or is it like what IO Interactive is doing with James Bond, where they are making kind of their own visual version of James Bond and basing it more off the novels instead of actually, Daniel Craig or Roger Moore or Sean Connery or whatever. I cannot imagine if it is Todd Howard who says that he's a huge Indy fan. I have to assume that we're dealing with classic Indy era. I don't want to be fucking playing a game in the 50s like Crystal Skull, and I sure as fuck don't want to be playing a game in the goddamn 60s and early 70s like the goddamn Cock-a-Doodle Dial of Destiny, which wasn't terrible, as bad as Crystal Skull, but neither of those movies feel like real Indiana Jones movies to me. So I cannot fathom they won't set it with the Nazis in the 40s and the 30s, but you never fucking know. People in the chat Wallace says machine games equals first person. Well, that's not necessarily true. People change. Studios want to, build new muscles. Kevin in the chat, I agree. He says Arcane is now doing a third person Blade game. Up until now, they were all first person. I can see machine games pivoting and doing a third. Yeah, you never know. I know a lot of people want it to be third person. I don't really understand that, but whatever. The bigger question to me is what Blackjack is saying. Who cares about Indiana Jones anymore? 50-year-olds? Right. I mean, it's a good question. I'm a huge Indy fan. Next to Spider-Man and Superman and God damn it, Jed Bartlett. There's not a character I love more, and I probably might love Indy more than all of them. But I agree with you. I mean, Indy's shelf life, especially since the last two movies, haven't really generated a lot of fucking big fans. I don't know, man. I agree. I think the game either has to be, it's got to stand on its own. If it doesn't stand on its own as an amazing fucking cool game in its own right, I think it's a waste of a license. Because as much as some people like me and Todd Howard apparently love Indiana Jones, he's not relevant. My kids don't give a fuck about Indiana Jones, or their friends don't either. Indy has inspired lots of games, but never been relevant in the gaming space. Yeah, Eddie T, and he hasn't been relevant in movies in a long time. Stephen Avery, I will give you a little bit of advice. Not that it matters if I fly off the handle. Who gives a shit? You shouldn't care. I hope you don't. But if you want to keep me from flying off the handle, please don't make things that are subjective sound objective. He says first person kills immersion. Oh, but you did add IMO. Thank you for that, buddy. I was wrong. You were right. See, I'm a big man. I can tell you when I'm wrong. You did exactly what I was going to ask you to do. I just didn't see it till I read it. For him, and I respect that, Stephen Avery says first person kills immersion. Perfect. Not a problem, pal. I get it. I appreciate it. I respect it. For me, immersion doesn't come from camera perspective. I just want it to be first person because I want to experience Indiana Jones that way. I've already experienced Indy third person a lot. Laura Croft, Nathan Drake, and somebody was saying in the chat that these guys just need their Uncharted. They just want an Uncharted. I mean, I don't agree with you. I really don't. I'm not saying they wouldn't like an Uncharted, but I don't think that Machine Games is not a big cinematic Naughty Dog kind of company. Todd Howard clearly is a fan of Indiana Jones. I don't think he's looking to just do a reskin of Uncharted with Indy. This sounds like a passion project. And if you're Xbox and you've spent some decent ducats on this fucking license, why? You do it because you got a team that's really passionate and it's a strong enough license. But this is not, dude, you could fucking put Indy in a fucking, Mahjong game and it would fucking sell. That's not this license. It's not this license. If it's first person, says PK, it doesn't matter if you play Indy or not. It totally matters if you play as Indy. Because, again, I've said this over and over. It's an important distinction. When you play Uncharted, and again, this is me, IMO, right? When you play Uncharted, I don't feel like I'm on the adventure. I feel like I'm watching it and controlling it to some extent. But, and I've played Indy that way. I've played Indy with Emperor's Tomb, and hell, I even played the Staff of Kings, the fucking horrible Wii indie game. But I want to feel what it's like, and I don't mean this with immersion. I want to feel what it's like to be in his shoes now, not just watching semi-controlling. So I want to do the whip from first person, right? I want to take the Staff of Ra and maybe have to rotate it just right and actually see the beam of light and stuff and feel like I'm actually with his cool leather gloves and shit. I want to have that experience. But if not, I'm down. Bad Robo says this will be 100% Uncharted reskin. Uncharted is Indiana Jones. No offense, Bad Robo, I think you lack vision. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think if all they are doing is reskinning Uncharted, they're really dropping the ball on what makes this license special. I think it's a ridiculous thing to assume that all Uncharted is Indiana Jones. I get it thematically. Eric says, why make Indy if you can't see him? Why not make a new IP? Because you'll see him in cutscenes, you'll see him in the marketing, and you'll actually see aspects of him. If his in the movies, like if his hat falls off, he always has to have his fucking hat. Well, now if his hat falls off and you don't get it back, let's say there's like a attribute, like 5 extra bonus points of whatever, if you can level up your character. Like I want to level up Indiana Jones. I want to put some points into whip using, and I don't want to drop my hat and not go back and get it because that's going to let me have more power to take on the fucking boss or whatever. I want to have more of a systems-based Indiana Jones, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm less interested in just another, oh no, here's a cinematic cutscene where he jumps to the ledge and the ledge crumbles and he's like, no. Whoo. Okay, fuck you. I'm so bored of that shit. But I do hope in that first person perspective, these guys here's the 2 things I really hope they do to make it feel like Indiana Jones. The Machine Games is great, by the way. Their 2 mainline Wolfenstein games are well above 8 on Metacritic, right? They're a great developer. I want to see, well, first I'm curious what Todd Howard, as another hardcore indie fan, I want to see does he feel about indie the cool stuff that I do? Like for me, indie, I want to see cool set pieces and stunts, and I want them to be excellent. I don't want this bullshit. Like Naughty Dog executes their stunts brilliantly, and every now and then they'll come up conceptually with a really strong set piece, but I want to fucking be like back when I was a kid and Indy was the king of the box office in the 80s, the stuff he got into, you were like, holy fuck, like the stunts blew your fucking mind. I want to see really cool, like, oh shit, that was amazing. Not just like executed, but conceptual stunts. I want to see it funny. Not like, haha, it's a Tim Schafer game, but I want to see Indy, have a bunch of lines that don't get overused, maybe only once. And they get a real fucking writer to come in and make him have some great fun lines. Interesting. Puckish Rogue says, do you think there will be puzzles you have to decipher? I mean, I hope so, but I understand that, when you're spending this kind of money, unless you put a slider in there, I can't imagine there'll be like real puzzles. Jaffe, which studio from Xbox do you think is working on the Mandalorian game? Well, I don't know if they are, although you saw today, I imagine that they're doing a Mandalorian movie they announced. Jon Favreau's directing it, so maybe they will. But the rumor was the guys at id who did Doom Eternal were doing it, but I don't know if that's actually true. Steven says, I wonder if Nazi flags will be replaced with a less offensive symbol. I hope not. They're the bad guys. Why can't we have Nazis that we shoot in the fucking head and put them down like the dogs they are? I agree. I agree, Gravedigger. Absolutely. The opening of Uncharted 2 was amazing when I first played it. I got that feeling God of War running across the sword. Right. I mean, there are some moments in games that do that. And I just hope this game is packed with them like the early Indiana Jones films. To me, the discovery aspects of Silent Q could be conceptually good. I always like the indie movies, him realizing he found something. Agree, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't take off the Nazi flags. And I think the Nazi flags, yeah, Dog, you're right. Machine Games and Wolfenstein, they're Nazi flags. So, no, I think that would be terrible. He's fighting the Nazis. They're the bad guys. What do you want? If you made, the Nazis the good guys, okay, then you might have some people really upset about it, which I would very much understand. Well, yeah, Germans can ban the reference all they want. They'll change it for Germany. Who cares? Mutt Williams is dead, thank God, Master Luke. Master Luke says maybe in the game Indy's teaching Mutt to be an adventurer. Oh, God. No. Well, he's not dead yet. He died in Vietnam. But anyway. Okay, let's move forward, though. But I'm excited for this. Oh, I want a snake mechanic. Like if he's around snakes, like there are areas of the maps he can go to. And it's like he can get through them shortcuts. But if he's around snakes, all of his stats just drop like 25%, right? And so they don't come back up for like 10 minutes after you get out of the snake area. So you got to choose, do I want to fucking take the hard way or the fucking snake way? I want systems in this fucking thing. I want the systems built around the character that I love. That's what I fucking want. So we'll see. Can you believe that? Can you believe we're going to be seeing this in like less than like 2 weeks? 2 fucking weeks? Eddie T says, will it be level-based or open world? I have no idea. Boy, I wish it would be open world, though. I absolutely wish it would be open world. Because that would be fucking cool. I want to see Indy get on one of those fucking planes, and I want him to be like, okay, I want to go to Peru, and then you see the line, dun, 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 you see the line draw on the map and shit. Come on, man. It's next Thursday, says Prince Green. Next week. I wonder if Marion will be in the game. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, it is what it is. Let's move forward. We'll all find out together. But I was thinking about this. Besides Indy is kind of like the game I'm most excited for, big game next year. But if it wasn't for Game Pass, and again, I got PS Plus too, PS Plus Premium. Darth Nugget says not open world, needs to be globetrotting. Yes, but let you decide where you globetrot. I don't want to be like, oh, chapter 7, he's in Peru. I want to be like, oh shit, I need to figure out, how to open this tomb. Okay, well, I have a couple of leads. One of them is in Venice, where there's this archaeological convention happening. And then one of them are in the sands of Egypt somewhere. And I can kind of choose, that's something I haven't played with Indiana Jones. I've played the chapter 6, this, chapter 7, that. I'm done. It's over. It's boring. I've done it a million times. But we'll see. Anyway, the point is, though, I'm excited for that game. Avowed and Hellblade 2, if somebody were to say to me, Jaffe, you need to spend $70 bucks to play those games, then I would say, I'll wait till the reviews. If the reviews are phenomenal, I'll play them. But one of the reasons I like these subscription services is it really does feel now like a movie ticket or a movie rental. I like that relationship that I have with games now because of something like Game Pass, and to a much smaller but still relevant extent, PS Plus. It feels like every other medium. I don't have to invest a lot of money and or time to know to sort of sample the things. I can try and experience the medium in so many other ways now. And I just fucking love that. And so I think that's one of the reasons I'm much more excited about when Xbox shows off stuff, because it's usually going to go to Game Pass, than when Sony does. Because I know Sony stuff is going to be best in breed. It's going to look great. But, I'm not like, oh my God, I cannot wait to play another, really, what is the next Uncharted going to be? I don't know. But let's assume for a moment it's just more of the same and it looks better. Ugh, no thank you. No, thank you. I need freshness, baby. That's like, who was the guy asking me at the start of the stream? Jaffe, how do you keep playing the video games? Aren't you getting tired? Are you getting bored? This guy tells me he's getting bored after a year. He can't pick up games anymore. And I says, it's because I play a lot of stuff. I don't just play the same old shit, same old genres, the same old templates. Game Pass helps with that. I recommend PS Plus too. But for different reasons. I will say though, yeah, somebody earlier was talking about Evil West. Boy, that's a fun game. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Good stuff. Repetitive at the end, but really fun. The combat is fluid as a goddamn dog's diarrhea. Come on now!
I can't help but be racist. It's true.
Kyler, that was you? Thank you, buddy. Okay. It's not my point, man. Yeah, whatever. Let me ask you this question. Bad Robo says, yeah, Redfall was truly a breath of fresh air. I didn't say it was. It doesn't mean I'm not going to call shit, great stuff shit. I wanted to love Redfall, but unfortunately it just wasn't very compelling. So thank God I didn't buy it. But let me ask you this question. Seriously, do you think if the indie game, let's just take Indy, Avowed, whatever, but let's stick with Indiana Jones. If Indy comes out and it's genuinely a great game, like let's say it's of the quality and fun factor of the second Wolfenstein, which is I think at like an 86 on Metacritic. Do you think the PlayStation community children that do the fanboy stuff, do you think then they'll go, yeah, man, we wish we had Indy. That sounds great. I'd love to play that one day. Or do you think they'll just beat up on it for no reason? I mean, I don't know, man. It's just disgusting to me how these people aren't real gamers, but they pretend that they're fucking hardcore gamers. It's gross. It's gross. I hope it's good, not good enough. Great games on my Series X. Oh, I agree. Not enough great games. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Random Moose Brains. Hey, buddy, been a member for 38 months. That's insane, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. He says, gamers, LOL. Oh, I know. I'm with you. But I just wonder if the PS community loved Tomb Raider after it started as an Xbox game. Okay, well, that's good. Then maybe they're not all just irrational morons. It just seems like, they seem like they're the worst of it. Eddie T says they hated Hi-Fi Rush until the multi-platform news broke. Let me tell you one more thing and we'll get off this story. Speaking of that, Edward T. This is what they say at the end of this article. This is the official Xbox write-up, okay? It says, this show will be a celebration of just a selection of our slate of upcoming games for Xbox. It's also another part of our commitment to consistently bringing Xbox players can't miss experiences. Here's the sentence. 2024, I think they meant 2023, kicked off with a bang for Game Pass members. And you can expect that lineup to include more incredible games. So when they said that, they put a link in here. And if you click on the link, I'm trying to see where it takes you to. I think they're talking about, they were talking about what just dropped. But if you remember a year ago when they announced Hi-Fi Rush, it was day and date with the announcement. And somebody in the chat was saying there's going to be 5 games. There's going to be one extra one. It's not just Indy, Avowed, Hellblade 2, and the strategy thing. So I think that would be cool. I know I'm just kind of, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I just would love, I would love to tune in and it's like, oh, hey, by the way, this game we just showed you've never heard of, it's out now and it's on Game Pass. Speaking as a computer, says Kevin, I know exclusives as a whole are dumb. I like them, but Xbox needs to play hardball, and porting this is going to be a bad look for them. I hope they don't port it. I think it's good. I think it drives better deals for developers. It lets developers get more marketing because there's a vested interest. If everything was on everything, then the developer would be like, hey, you're just one of a gajillion. But if it's like, hey, we're Indiana Jones or we're Returnal. If Returnal had been some third-party Capcom game, Capcom does a great job at selling their stuff. But, if it had been like a third-party game from a decent, like 505 games, you probably never would have even played the goddamn thing. So that's kind of exciting. I like that when you have an exclusive, whether it's a subscription service exclusive or a retail. It means the developer wins. They get their game promoted more. And, you know, Jesus, if you love games enough to be watching this fucking show, I would like to think that you've got both systems. Hey, there he is. JW Conglomerate. By the luck of the universe, he says, I happen to catch a live stream. It's been ages. Hope you're well, Jaffe. I'm well. And I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate all your support over the year. That's really kind and generous, buddy. Thank you so fucking much. Appreciate that, bud. Arath Thistle says, I don't have an Xbox, but I have a PC. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, I love Returnal. Returnal was the shit. Okay. But thank you for that, JW. Very, very kind. I appreciate it, man. Let us move on. I don't want to talk about that. You guys saw they cast Abby, right? Caitlin Dever is how you say her name, I think. She's great. She's fucking great. She is, I first saw her in Booksmart. She's playing Abby in the next season of Last of Us. I saw her in Booksmart. She was really funny. She was in No One Will Save You, which is that alien home invasion movie that came out on Hulu over Halloween. That was great. And then I also saw her in this, I don't know, it wasn't True Detective, but it was kind of like that, where she played this woman who somebody broke into her apartment and raped her, but nobody believed her. And then she just kind of kept fighting to be believed in shit. It was I forget what that was, but it was really, really engaging. Really, it's called Unbelievable. Okay, Netflix series. Yeah, really, really good. So I think she's gonna, she's a great actress. I know, apparently she played Cassie, right? She did the voice and the body performance for Cassie Drake in Uncharted 4. So, that's kind of fun. That's cool. I didn't know that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how buff she's going to get for this, but, I don't know if that's necessary. She doesn't have to look exactly like her, but I assume she's going to beef up for this fucking role. I know people think she would have made a better Ellie. I think the cast they got is great. I mean, I hear you. I don't think she would be bad. But I certainly think that, what's her name? Bella Ramsey's pretty fucking good as Ellie. Yeah, you guys are saying she was in a Tim Allen show. I've never seen it. Okay. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see where this goes. My guess is what they're going to do is they're going to marble her into the second season, get us to like her enough. And then I think people keep saying the third season, is going to be when Joel gets the golf. People still upset about that. Come on, it's good storytelling. I'm excited. We'll see. She was the little girl in Uncharted. Yeah, she was the daughter of Nathan and whatever his wife's name is. Gravedigger, thank you, buddy. 7 months. Here's what he says. He says, Jaffe, thank you for putting out the coziest show on YouTube and so many streams lately. Do you still plan to do the Halloween stream we missed back in October? Number one, thank you for being a member for all those months. I appreciate it, Gravedigger. Number two, it's deep in my nether regions. It's deep in my wishes for this show that people think it's cozy, that people think it's a place they can come and chill and hang out and just, feel like, they're at a video game version of Cheers or some such shit. I like that you pick up on that. I don't know if it's something I push enough, but I appreciate that observation. That means a lot. Thank you, buddy. The Halloween thing. Didn't we do a Halloween thing? I don't know. Do you still plan to do the Halloween stream we missed? What was the Halloween stream? You got to remind me. One of the reasons that I stream so much, but I forget a lot. Let me know. Okay. Jaffe, talk about the God of War show, says Godslayer. I know nothing I know nothing about it. I'm not involved with it at all. I think they're basing it mostly off the Norse stuff, and I imagine they'll do flashbacks and whatnot. I have no reason to think this other than I feel this way about the new God of War games, and it seems kind of par for the course if you look at something like Game of Thrones or Wheel of Time or Amazon, who's making this show, their Tolkien stuff. I would rather see God of War as a show lean more into the high adventure and the monsters and still have the character. I'm not saying just make him a fucking cardboard cutout, which people seem to think I'm pushing for. But I'm not, but I would, I'm tired of appointment TV that's somber and gray and intentionally slow paced. And I'm just, so I get the sense, although I have no reason why I would get this sense other than I just think it's probably going to be based on the game, the current game. And that's kind of the pacing, or that's the tone of the current game. I wouldn't go that far, Prince Green. Prince Green says, do the monster of the week like Hercules in 95. I'm not saying that. I definitely don't think it needs to be that light, but I absolutely would like it to sort of dial it more towards, something that feels like a bit of the pathos, a bit of the angst, with an adventure show versus like a fucking, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm bored of that. It's just tropey at this point, man. But I'll watch it. I mean, of course I'll watch it. Okay. Where are we looking? I have not talked Cooper Suicide Squad yet, but we are rapidly closing in. I want to show you real quick. Let me see something real quick. Okay. That doesn't make sense. Wait a second. Okay, I see. SAG-AFTRA teamed up. They made a deal with this AI company, Replica Studios, and they said, and it's a done deal with Replica. They still haven't finished negotiating with Activision, Insomniac, all that, but a lot of it's over, of course, AI and whatnot. But Replica Studios is working with SAG now, so members are going to be able to license their voices to game studios. And you can use Replica's tech to pretty much create whatever the fucking voices that you want. And I think it's really cool, man. Again, I'm not here to sell you on AI. I don't give a fuck. This is the future. You either believe me or you don't. But look at this. They just let you fuck around with it, right? So this is their samples. So I typed some stuff. Where's this one? Oh, it's just cool. And again, I mean, it's only going to get better. What I don't understand about this is I'm glad that SAG seems to have come off this crazy notion of asking for residuals. I think that's just, if that happens, it will be a long, long fucking time before that occurs, right? But I'm glad they got off that. I think Replica is definitely the future of a lot of this stuff. I don't understand why you need voice actors though. Like, basically what I'm about to show you is it's like the computer creates the voice and the style and it's only going to get better in terms of intonation and performances and stuff. If you get Troy Baker in a room and you have him just record a bunch of stuff. I mean, they said they're not going to train the model on the actual actors. So is it just that the voice sounds a bit more like Troy? I don't really understand that part. They didn't explain it, but this is some AI. Again, you can bitch about it if you want, but I think this is really fucking cool. I just typed this in. Here you go. It's processing. Give it a minute. Jesus, it's not working.
You festering boil-covered son of a mangy dog! I shall bring an end to your evil deeds, and once I do, your wicked reign over these people, it shall finally be at an Draw your sword, and let's get this over with.
Now, he's a rage character, right? So you can say, well, let me pick a character that's less about the rage. Okay, let's do, we can do seductive. It's going to be weird. Let's do angry. No, let's do lighthearted. There's a character named Freya. All right, here you go. It's not soulless. Shut up. Bullshit, Adam.
You festering, boil-covered son of a mangy dog. I shall bring an end to your evil deeds.
That one's not as good as the
And
other one.
once I do, your wicked reign over these people, it shall finally be at an end. Draw your sword, and let's get this over with.
That one's not very good. The other one I thought was much, much better. It is not soulless. It's so stupid. It's such a dumb statement. I'm not going to belabor it. It needs some work, Levi. We're not there yet. But my God, man. I showed some art yesterday that was done by a human and people were like, oh, that's AI. I'm like, no, that was a human doing that. Most people can't fucking tell. The one I just played you can tell. That wasn't very good. But the first one, I thought was pretty fucking good. It sounded like a real fucking actor. Let's try one more real fast.
You festering, boil-covered son of a mangy dog. I shall bring an end to your evil deeds. And once I do, your wicked reign over these people, it shall finally be at an end. Draw your sword, and let's get this over with.
Right, so, you need to go in and then kind of touch it up, add some intonation here, there, and the other. Masochista says, I'm telling you, those rejecting AI the most today will be the ones to go all in once it's complete. Yeah, you gotta have some vision. Yeah, Nawdog says it's the breaks and stops. Sure, but if I was making a game, I would take this into Audacity and I would edit out the pauses. And you can probably do that in the software if you pay for it. And you can probably go, like when he says, and let's get this over with, because right now the entire thing is being read in a cynical style. But maybe at this point, I'd want him to start to sound more exhausted. Yeah, Aquastorm, I know, guys. God damn it. Why? What is the deal? Are we not raising people right with education? I know. It's not there yet. I'm not asking you to pay me so I'll sell you replica. This is about the future, man. This is about where we're going. It's not, yes, I can pick holes in it all day long. But we're not there yet. But we're getting there. Good God almighty. Okay. Mr. Pancakes, the future does not suck. The future is fucking cool, man. It's fucking cool. In fact, I'll tell you what. Here you go. Let's do this. This is for you, Mr. Pancake. This is Lilith. Okay? Here we go. And you got to be real careful because it won't let you do any curse words or anything. Mr. Pancake, I want to take you behind the barn and show you my special place. Do you like ladies who enjoy power tools? I don't fucking know. Fuck you, Mr. Pancake. Here you go. This is for you, buddy. Close your eyes. Get out the Vaseline. We're working.
Mr. Pancake, I want to take you behind the barn and show you my special place. Do you like ladies who enjoy power tools?
I can't help but we got him, boys. We made a convert to AI. Anybody else want a little love from Lilith or Freya? Here, we're going to have Freya read this chat. Super chat just came in from Levi Sorensen. Thank you, buddy, for that very generous super chat. I appreciate it. I haven't even read it yet. We're going to have Freya read it to us. Here we go.
If they don't have it already, they'll probably have features that you edit the tone and emotion of specific words and statements.
You're goddamn right, Levi. Isn't that cool, man? It's fucking cool. Fucking cool. Thank you for that super chat, buddy. I appreciate it very much, Levi. Thank you, man. Jaffe, actually, you'd love this game called Superborn 2. Okay, I'll give it a look. I'll take the interpolated animation sequences and super AAA polish. Yeah, go get that. You can have that. You'll get less and less of them. They take longer to make. Yeah, this is how I make pea turtle, by the way. All of pea turtle, people say, is pea turtle real? No, you guys. I fucking make him in this fucking thing. Come on now. All right.
Don't touch me.
Zing. This app is called Replica. If you want to fuck around with it, I will put it right now in the chat. There you go. It's in the chat. Click on it. Enjoy. Darth Nugget, thank you for being a member for almost 3 goddamn years. Jaffe, he says, is not a true AI believer. He's a poser for real. If you want to prove me wrong, give us AI donos. Thanks for the chat, super chat. Not the super chat, the member chat. I don't know what. How can somebody prove you wrong that I'm not a poser if they give you AI donuts, donation? I don't know what that is, but Darth Nugget, thank you, buddy, for being here, being part of our community. I appreciate it, man. All right, let's move the fuck on with our lives. I'm not going to sell some of you on it. But listen, here's what I'll tell you. In the future, when you want to come a knocking and say, Jaffe, I'm sorry, you were right. I was wrong. I will not rub it in. I will not rub it in. Okay, in just a second, we are going to jump into the discussion about Suicide Squad and the previews. If you are a member at the Cult of Calypso God of War tier, or you are a mod, go ahead and put yourself in Calypso's lair on the Discord. I'm in there right now. You can talk about this to the chat with me for a little bit as we discuss it. Before we get to there, I do want to let you know, though, that Helldivers 2 details have been announced. I'm excited to see if this game is good. It looks like it could be fun. I think their price point is really dangerous for this game. I think it's the last time they were so off base with this was when they did Destruction All-Stars for $60. Real problem. But we'll see. But anyway, here's what we know. You're going to be able to play it day one on PC and PS5, which is great. It's a sequel to Helldivers. We know that, but this one's like over the shoulder. Here's what they call it. Join forces up to 3 friends, wreak havoc on an alien scourge threatening the safety of your home planet. The specs they're not asking for a lot. This is coming out next month. Naudog says it's DOA. I don't think it's dead on arrival, but I think it might be close. Here, I'll show it to you on the screen. I'll get that super chat in just a second. So average performance, 1080p at 30 frames. They recommend 1080p at 60 frames. Apparently, I mean, it won't run on a potato computer, but it's solid, and most people will be able to play it. But I'm just not dropping 40. Who in the chat is going to be dropping $40 on this thing? Is anybody like looking to buy this? I know that Cooper says he bought the physical edition. To what end? I mean, you haven't played it. To get the most out of it, you have to have 3 other friends that have also purchased it. Did that happen? Do you have 3 other friends that also drop the ducats and they will be playing this with you? Because otherwise, it just seems like a big ask, man. I'm not entirely sure why they don't at least do something like we talked about a while ago, where if you buy it, at least you get like 3 passes that you can hand out to friends for 2-hour sessions or something. Because then, then it'll sell itself if it's good. Okay, so Logan, you've pre-ordered it. Why? Again, I'm not, Wayne is getting it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking, what have you seen that makes you feel it's a good purchase without just waiting for reviews and waiting for people to play it and have a comment? So you love the first Helldivers, Cooper. So that's kind of enough. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's a great point. Eddie T says Helldivers should launch for, quote, free on the highest tier of PS Plus. Right. 100%. That's a great idea. That's a fucking great idea. Yeah, you can sell it to everybody else for $40, but if you're PS Plus, put it. Come on, man. Jaffe, the first Helldivers was a single player experience as well. You didn't have to play online. I thought you have to play online with this game. Is it there's a single player mode in this? Logan says, I have little to no interest in playing it. I'm just addicted to buying games. Fair enough. But again, man, if it comes out and people love it, that's awesome. I'll definitely play it. It's 3-player co-op only. My understanding is it's 4. Because it says join forces with up to 3 friends, and I'm assuming they're not including you in that, so there's 4, right? But yeah, this will be coming out in less than a month, so let's cross our fingers. These days, says Wallace, why pre-order? Yeah, the only reason I pre-order at times is because I want the game early so I can stream it, but that's it. Okay. I thought it was 3-2, Wayne, but it says right here, I've seen a couple of things and it has been a little confusing, the messaging, but if you're going by the latest, which dropped today, join forces with up to 3 friends. So, there you go. Okay. I wanted to hang on a second. Angry Hippie says the 80s. I can't wait for the future. Now people say I hate AI. I know. I thought we were going to be the generation a little older, a little younger that had the wherewithal and had the cognitive relationship with that concept of, be careful when you get older, you are going to be suspicious of technology because we see it as so many other older generations did it to us. My parents were scared of the goddamn ATM machine, right? I mean, because it was brand new. They're like, I don't want to put my card in there and it takes my money. It's like, dude, it's fine. But lo and behold, we got a lot of people who are just like, AI. Fucking AI is cool as fuck, man. Let me tell you something, Linda, an Angry Hippie. I'm not even fucking with you. All right, listen to this real quick. We're gonna get to Suicide Squad in just a second, but I want to tell you something. So last night, it doesn't matter. The evening. What just happened here? Why did that just pop up on my screen? It says DC just quietly released the best superhero crossover movie of the year. What the fuck are they talking about? What is this? Doom Patrol. Wait, it says, look at this. I'm going to get the games. Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 just came out. People say it's fucking great. The reviews are great. Okay, neat. It's got Flash, Batman, Blue Beetle, Green Arrow. All right, cool. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about, though. So here's what I'm saying to you guys. So I'm listening to this story last night on the Twitter, and it's about that whistleblower with the UFOs. I know it's a cartoon. That David Garush, however you say his name. And apparently he gave a presentation to Wall Street about the UFO stuff, or to some Wall Street invest. I don't fucking know why, whatever. But in it, he brought up what we've heard before, which is there is a ship. This is going to get to AI and we're going to get to games. I promise you guys. It's not the Miami thing. No. This happened in New York. In it, he says the government has about 12 ships or parts of ships we've recovered. One of them, and we've heard this from a couple of different people, believe them or not, is irrelevant, that there's a ship that's about the size of a van. But when you go inside, it's like the TARDIS. You go inside, and it's the size of a football field, right? And they can't obviously understand that. And they also can't understand why there is no seemingly any propulsion. Sorry, there's no seeming evidence of propulsion. So how is this thing moving like it's moving, right? So I think about this and I say, well, this is pretty obvious, the first part. I'm going to tell you where AI comes in. So the first part is like, well, look, it's not, the football field is not really inside. They fold space-time. The van, the ship, is a portal that you step through and it folds space-time and you go to the football field. It's not like it's actually inside there, okay? That's number one. And then people say, well, folding space-time, that requires pretty much, according to theoretical physics, the power of the sun, the power of a sun. That's fine, because here's what you do. the aliens figure out how to make the goddamn cockadoodie machine that will be able to fold space-time, and they simply send the energy, because I went to ChatGPT. I said, hey, can you send other things, if theoretically, if you can make warp portals, and if you can fold space-time, I know you can send physical objects, but can you send energy? And it went through the whole fucking thing and saying, yes, you can absolutely send energy theoretically if this is actually proven. So there's no propulsion, because the propulsion is being sent to the ship as it needs it from the sun a gajillion light years away. I wouldn't have known if that was possible if I wouldn't have been able to go to the goddamn cockadoodie ChatGPT and had a long discussion about the goddamn thing. Come on now. It's cool. Speaking of aliens, Jaffe, what do you think of the footage of the alien walking in Miami? I think it's stupid. I mean, I think it's been debunked. People are asking if I saw the jellyfish UFO thing. I saw somebody talking about it, but wasn't that from a while ago? That's not really a new thing, or it is? Jellyfish. We're going to get back to games, I promise. Did I ever beat Elden Ring? No. It is still my favorite game, 100%. But I'm almost to the end, I think, but I just cannot get past the dual god skin peeler twins or duo or whatever. Jellyfish UFO. Let me see. Jellyfish UAP reveals strange object in Iraq. Maybe it's freedom, and they don't know what it is. America! Let me see if I can show this to you guys. I don't want to get into trouble. Hang on, my fellows and fillettes. Okay. UAP reveals strange object. Footage was leaked to journalist Jeremy Corbell. The object was filmed over a joint operations base in Iraq in 2018. The object remains classified as a UAP by the Pentagon. I'll tell you what. Tomorrow this is more of Good Morning Gamers, or whatever the show's called. Oh my God, I'm looking at it now. That's fucking weird. What the fuck is that? Oh fuck it, I'll put it on now. What is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Is that like a trash bag floating in the wind? Right? It's like American Beauty. What the fuck am I looking at? Look at this shit. When is this fucking thing? Here, look at this fucking thing. Check this shit out. What is this? What is this? Oh, wait, the Spaz going to yell at me. The screen's cut off. Hang on. Let me fix the screen for you so you can see it with me. Transform, reset. Okay, look at this fucking thing. It is weird, man. Okay, here we go. Rewind it a little bit. All right, here it comes. What is that? Right? What the fuck is that? I don't know. So, you know, it was in 2018. Look at that. Mute Mo says you should consolidate Good Morning Gamers, and I love the weird and call it Good Morning Weirdos. No, Master Luke, it's not dead. I love the weird isn't dead, but it is folded into the morning show. Fuck you, Twisted Sith. I love how y'all are shocked by this. We've known the truth for years. Even if you know the truth, doesn't mean it's not cool when you fucking see it. And you haven't known the truth. You've suspected things. It does look like the Empire Strikes Back droid, the one that goes... It's a weather balloon. I've never seen a weather balloon. Could be a drone, though. You know... who the fuck knows? Again, just stop. It's like the fucking atheist. I'm a goddamn atheist agnostic, but it's just, they're so obnoxious. They're as obnoxious as the fucking religious people. It's like, yeah, I get it. It may not be real. It may be a drone. It may be a balloon. It may be a trash bag. It may be artifacts on the camera. I get it. Okay, just let people be interested in something. But you're right, you need to be skeptical, but there's a point where your skepticism no longer serves the purpose it was intended for. It just becomes something that keeps you rigid and keeps you from opening your mind to things that could be happening. You know, I mean, come on, man. You know, the UAP stuff, and there was a classified meeting today about it in the American Congress. Come on now. There's something going on. Doesn't have to be aliens, but it's probably not weather balloons. Bro, I'm interested as fuck, says Mr. K. I'm just trying to rule out expectations, dummy. I'm not, then that's good. That's good, but you got to do both. You got to do both. Let's move on, you fucks. Well, nobody's joining me in Calypso's lair, so fine, I'll talk about it myself. I don't need y'all. Fuck y'all. I'll talk about it my own damn self. Listen to this. This is what Jez Corden, you have not missed the Druckman bit, not yet. Jez Corden tweets this out. He's absolutely right. You know Jez. He does a lot of Xbox stuff. I think he writes for Xbox, Windows Central. Okay. He says, I've never seen unanimously negative previews of a AAA game like this before. Could Suicide Squad be heading for DOA status? You goddamn right. You goddamn right it is. My nephew Daniel's in the chat there. He says, we need to get back to calling them UFOs. I know. UAPs. Everybody's so scared to just admit. It's like we live in a world where people can believe in Yahweh and in the Jesus and the Allah, and that's great. But God forbid you start to say maybe there's something in outer space. Oh, you're crazy. Really? Fuck you. I agree. UFO is better, Daniel, 100%. But, you know, they are, you know, I'll get into it tomorrow. Because even the whole idea of a flying saucer, do you know where the flying saucer came from? The flying saucer was mistakenly reported when they reported on Roswell. You can fact check this shit. They reported on the UFO crash in the 40s, and they didn't know what it was, but somebody said it was something, and it got miscommunicated, and they said it was a disc shape. And then suddenly everybody started seeing disc shapes. And it was like, up until that point, people were seeing things in the sky, but they were not seeing things that looked like saucers. So yes, you got to be skeptical, but it doesn't mean you got to close your goddamn mind. Suicide Squad dead on arrival.
Everybody hates you, and I'm glad your husband died. He probably killed himself.
This is terrible. Everybody who played this game. Now I know there are people in the chat who played the oh God, I understand. Okay. Yes, I understand. It's not Roswell. It was, you're absolutely right. It was a pilot. He flew in World War II. He was flying over Arizona. I think he was looking for an airport. Yes, you're right. I understand. There is some details that I miscommunicated. But you are right, Mr. K. There's a great book called The Little Book of Aliens. It just came out by an astrophysicist. Read the whole thing in a weekend. It's phenomenal. Okay. Point is, though, all the previews of this have been terrible. There have been some people in the chat like Eric Lennon who says, hey, man, I played the alpha and it was fun. And I've heard that. But one of the things that a lot of people are saying is that it's solid, but it gets super repetitive. They are also, look, the most damning one I read was from Video Games Chronicle. Listen to this. After playing it for almost 4 hours, this is from Alan Wynn of the Chicago Winds. Fucking, the rumor is Capone and the Winds. It doesn't matter. But just trust me. Be good reporter, shady family. After playing it for 4 hours, I'm not sure you would know it was from the same studio behind the best superhero game trilogy ever made. You get to play as, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, King Shark, Harley Quinn. Now, number one, who the fuck greenlit this fucking game? I know there was a point where people thought the Suicide Squad movie was going to be a big deal, and it did okay, and all the ladies were dressed up as Harley Quinn for a while for Halloween. But nobody's chomping at the bit to dress up as Captain Boomerang. Come on now. I don't understand, but whatever. That's how you get to play in the game. Okay, I think it's a single player. No, it's multi and single player game. They say if your specific movesets are in cooldown, then every character can still jump and then slide along the ground or run up buildings. It's kind of cool and convenient, but not what you'd associate the character with. So apparently they really got all in on this. Let's do vertical shooting. They seem to fall in love with that. And they're saying the problem with it is that in order to get all the characters working in a vertical shooter, they had to invent all these gimmicks and weapons that they're using from people like Batman and Shazam's main enemy, which 90% of people know who he is, in order to get them to do that. And the minute they start doing that, they definitely don't feel like the characters anymore, right? So that's one of the complaints. The same identity mishmash, they say, is extended to third-person shooter combat, which might be a natural fit for a marksman like Deadshot, but less so for the other characters. Regardless, each is given their own specific weapon types, of which 2 are ranged and 1 is melee. In other words, don't expect Arkham-style gameplay, but instead your squad are primarily blasting away Brainiac's purple yet nondescript alien army. Oh, it sounds like Avengers all over again. Although there are still cinematic finishing takedowns. Wow, never seen that before. That can be charged up and activated by pushing 2 buttons at once. In Destiny fashion, you can also unlock lots of gear, color-coded by their rarity. I'm not a guy to jump on a beat-up-something bandwagon, but this sounds dreadful. Let's keep going. It gets dreadfuller. While most shooters have trained you for headshots, you're encouraged to aim for your foe's legs, which will put them in a stun state that lets you finish them with the melee that also harvests their shields. That's kind of cool. An important tactic is keeping your shield topped is essential. Although the above issues could be improved with a straightforward UI adjustment, they're basically saying because there's so much verticality, you don't know where your teammates are. So they're like, if they had something like Left 4 Dead where you see the silhouette through walls, or they have arrows pointing down or something, but you can be up on a rooftop running around and you're like, I don't know where King Shark is because he's out of sight, out of mind, right? It boils down, but he says, I'm still concerned the gameplay fundamentally boils down to going to this point to that point, shooting a lot of nondescript purple aliens, then going to another point to shoot more purple guys. And that's still even the case for one of the boss encounters that wasn't a member of the Justice League. How video game development teams have not realized that nobody wants to run around and punch a bunch. I mean, it feels like you're playing Final Fight. Well, but Brainiac's a terrible villain, number 1. Number 2, it's like, oh, look, they're robots. We can just keep throwing more robots at it and people will love it. That's when I opted out of the Avengers single player. The first part I thought was actually pretty good. And the minute you get into the base with Miss Marvel and Hulk and it just becomes beating up the same batch of robots ad nauseum, I'm like, no, fuck you, I'm done. The last sentence is the most damning, I think. It says, it's sad to think a decade later, basically after making the best superhero game ever, Rocksteady is merely following orders. That is exactly what this feels like. It feels like someone at Warner Brothers came along and said, I don't give a fuck about your talent. I don't give a fuck about your skill. I don't give a fuck about the people that love you as fans. This is the money shot. What? Shut up, Jaffe. Shut up.
God damn it, Maverick!
This is how we make our ducats. Fuck you. Yeah, Nawdog says Crackdown with DC. I still need to play that. And it's just like, what the fuck is Warner Brothers doing, man? What are they fucking doing? They got rocks in their fucking head. Now listen to this. It also came out today that we knew that the best-selling game of the year for the first time in a long time is not Call of Duty in 2023. It was Harry Potter, or whatever it's called, Hogwarts Legacy. You know how many microtransactions Hogwarts Legacy has? 1. And that's not even really a microtransaction. It just lets you buy an additional area of the map that you got if you bought the extended edition. And now they're like, we're going to make a lot more Harry Potter games. It's like, well, so I don't know if these guys are just coming around and going, okay, we made some mistakes with Gotham Knights. We made some mistakes with Suicide Squad. We learned a lot from Hogwarts. Let's go down that path. Hopefully that's what they're doing. Because how much more money do you need? You have the best-selling game of the year. People who played it loved it for the most part if they were fans of Harry Potter. No one likes this shit. Stop. So I don't know, man. I just hope this is they've learned their fucking lesson. Didn't their CEO say the exact opposite? Yeah, but I mean, that was before they came out and said this is the best-selling game of the year. Mr. K, yeah, their CEO said, I fucking hate their CEO. That new guy, I mean, he doesn't really directly mess with the games, but what is this? Warner Bros. Games head says service. I don't fucking know. I'm just Googling whatever. Okay, Warner Brothers says David Zaslav has outlined the company's plans transforming its biggest franchises into live service games to drive engagement and monetization of longer cycles. Our focus is on what he just said. To include more always-on gameplay through live services, multi-platform and free-play expansions, where the goal to have players spending more time on more platforms. Ultimately, we want to drive engagement and monetization. We are currently under scale and see significant opportunity to generate the post-purchase revenue. Well, fuck you. Hopefully you will drown in your own spittle, you fucking moron, when Suicide Squad comes out and it shits the goddamn bed. This motherfucker didn't just cancel a bunch of good stuff. Today, a great show on Max called Our Flag Means Death. They're not getting a third season. This is a motherfucker who thinks he's one of the old moguls, if you read up on him, from like Eastern Europe. I think his like great-great-grandfather lived in the same little village that Zucker lived in, or one of the Warners lived. I don't fucking know, but he literally went down to the basement of the Warner Brothers basement archives and got Louis B. Mayer's desk. He's sitting behind Louis B. Mayer's desk at Warner Brothers right now. That's what he thinks of himself. It's like, motherfucker, you are a moron. Get the fuck out of that job. You don't deserve that job, you fucking reality TV making motherfucker, Batgirl canceling, Roadrunner Coyote canceling motherfucker. I hate him. I fucking hate him. Remember when Cyberpunk had plans of a live service as CR? Then they got that new director who knew what the hell he was doing. I don't have a problem with live service games. The goddamn Marvel Snap's one of the best games ever made. They just raised $100 million in B stock because, you know, their company that funded them, was it NetEase or whatever, is shat the bed. And they're like, don't worry about us. We're going to be fine. Marvel Snap is going to be fine. And so they went out and got $100 million. There are people who can do it well. Fortnite's great. But you know what? If you don't actually know how to do it, or you don't have a real fucking vision, Warner Brothers, get the fuck out of the kitchen. Get the fuck out of the kitchen, you I fucking hate that guy. I don't mind executives. Good executives are important. Bob Iger, back in his heyday, I don't know what he's doing now, was a crucial part of pop culture. But guys like this, he don't deserve to be sitting in that fucking seat. Fuck him. Idiot. Listen to this. Let's talk about Neil Druckmann. People. Oh, I did see that, though. Tom Cruise today just joined up with Warner Brothers, his own production team. He's making new movies and franchise movies. He's going to star in every one. And it's a huge fucking deal. If he's going to save Warner Brothers, that's the way to do it. Warner Brothers was already down the shitter before Zaslav. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was to some extent. But it's worse now in terms of the output. I mean, if you want to fucking make, if you want to gut HBO and some of the best TV ever made, and you want to fucking put reality TV shows on, like, I dated a little person who had cancer, but I didn't know she had cancer. And at the end, I found out she had cancer. Oh, twist, I work in the graveyard. I had to bury her. I'm just saying, yeah, you can make it cheap. You can get a bunch of fucking idiots watching it. That's fine. If that's all you care about, Zaslav, go with God, you fucking moron. But, you know, fuck you. On the way out, go fuck yourself. On the way out, go fuck yourself. Luke says, that show sounds awesome. It's my idea. You can't have it. Anyway. Yeah, Tom Cruise is great. I love Tom Cruise. He's awesome. Finta says Tom Cruise will play Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's a one-man show. Okay. What was I talking about? Okay, Neil Druckmann. So listen, the Golden Globes, or as my oldest used to call them when she was very little, the Golden Globes. Not sure why. Were on the other night, and Neil Druckmann showed up, as he should. He was nominated for the first time. His show, The Last of Us, along with the co-creator. Looking sharp in a very fancy schmancy tuxedo, purple tuxedo. Look good. Cut a good figure, as they say. Do they say that anymore? And I was like, all right, great. And then look at this. So this is what got posted today and was hitting the internet this morning. And I want to show it to you because people are just such fucking assholes and they're dumb. This is what it was. Here we go. So Variety said Neil Druckmann at the Golden Globes, and they tweeted this out yesterday, late last night. Okay, here he is, all posing in his purple tux. Okay. Okay, so everyone on the internet is suddenly an expert in this shit, and they're like, oh, nobody was taking pictures of Neil, nobody was asking him questions, and it's like, you idiots, I've been on a red carpet before, okay? I know how this works, okay? In this case, if you actually listened to the people in the background, they are calling his name, and when they call his name, they turn and they take a shot. Okay, that's it. That's all that's happening. They're not doing flashes, probably digital photography. They didn't need the flashes, whatever. And I'm not saying Neil was swarmed with fans. I'm not saying he's that kind of a name in this world. Of course not. Not yet, anyway. But the concept that this was some kind of like, he's eating crow, fuck you guys, man. It's just, you know, the internet is so fucking petty. And this is a guy. Yeah, well, PK says Miyamoto would get swarmed. Sure, but not at the Golden Globes, he wouldn't. Okay, but this is a guy who has made a number of games that are beloved, and he's there for a show he co-created. And it's one of the highest, like the third highest rated HBO show ever. And it's, was up for like 8 Golden Globes, and it's up for like 12 Emmy nominations. Okay. And it's his first time. He may never be there again, or it may be the beginning of a huge fucking relationship with this industry. But I mean, it's like people, I really think I thought about this morning, I was like, when is it about these people? What is it about people who hate on, and again, you can dislike The Last of Us 2. I have a big problem with The Last of Us 1. I didn't like it. I really liked the second one. But that's different though. It's like, these are the kind of people that if they saw an author who was just trying to make it, you know, they send first-time authors out on book tours. You've seen this before. If you go into a goddamn bookstore sometimes, there's a guy sitting there who's like on a book tour It's like 30 books and no one's there. No one shows. Maybe 2 people show up and one of them's his parents, right? But that's how you start, okay? And he didn't show up to this because he wanted to be necessarily mobbed by fans. Or maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But that's not what he was doing here. He was showing up to support the show, and hopefully he didn't get an award. And more than most of these fuckers on the internet can say, they've done nothing. And I get it. You know, you got to drill down. You got to fucking drill down, don't you? You got to drill down and go, well, why are they so unhappy? And I'm not giving them backhanded compliments. When you have people who tear down people who have created something, or who have been involved in something that has been successful, and there's no real reason for it other than maybe they just don't like it, it really is a mirror to those people. And I don't mean that like I'm trying to give advice or be wise, or I don't mean that. I just mean that it's like there's a point where it's just like the motherfucker has done a show based on a video game that's done better than any other fucking video game property that's jumped from games to something else. He's up for awards all year long. Shut the fuck up. Leave the man alone. You don't have to like his game. You don't have to like that it's woke if you think it's woke. Who gives a shit? PK says he has a huge bank account. Do you think he cares? It's not about whether he cares. It's about how fucking petty a lot of these folks are. Toxmod says, Jaffe, do you like his suit? Yeah. I mean, it looks like a corduroy couch, you know, but it's nice. I mean, you know, it's a very elegant. It beats a lot of these, you know, game devs who go, you know, in the typical blazer t-shirt, jeans. I wouldn't wear the blazer, but hang on a sec. Why do I care what people think of Druckman? It's not that I care about Neil Druckmann personally. I mean, if I met him and I knew him, sure, maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe I'd hate him. I've never met the guy. It's just more, you know, it just gets really frustrating sometimes going on the internet and just everybody is so negative. But I don't even want to knock those people. Right? Because they're negative because, and I don't, again, this is where it sounds like I'm trying to insult them, but I'm trying to be nice. I don't mean it like that. They're negative because, you know, they got lives that they feel shitty about maybe, or they haven't achieved their dreams like Neil possibly has, or they've taken what they really wanted to do. I knew most people do this. I remember, you know, they take their dreams, they shove them down. I was directing a play in high school, and the actor, one of the main actors in the play, was great at it. And all throughout the play, he was telling me, I'm going to go to NYU for college. He was 1 year younger than me, and I want to study acting. I was like, great, you're really good as far as I can tell. What do I know? But I think you're great. And then towards the end of the year, I said, hey, so are you going to apply next year to NYU? He says, no, my parents, you know, think I should be a lawyer. I'm like, yeah, but that's their life. What about your fucking life? He's like, yeah, but you know, they said there's a better chance I'll actually make good money as a lawyer. So he's a lawyer now. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, it's his life. He can make whatever choices he wants, but it's just like, there's so many of these people out there that just don't go for things that are interesting to them, to their soul. And then that's bad enough. And then they jump on all these other fucking people that are actually doing it. It just makes me sad. It's not that I'm defending Neil. It's that I just think it's shit. It's a shit trait that we as people have, I think. I think Neil epitomizes the focus on story over gameplay. I'm with you. I didn't like Uncharted 4. I think he's a terrible director for the Uncharted series. He's too serious for it. It's like giving Martin Scorsese Raiders of the Lost Ark. It would be interesting, but it ain't what I want to watch. But I think he was great for the Last of Us series, and certainly number 2. But that's beside the point. It's absolutely beside the point whether or not he epitomizes that. My issue is not his games. I've been very clear on what I think of his games. My issue is how people treat people on the internet. It's disgusting. Fanta, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says it all comes down to people deciding to focus more of their energy on what they dislike versus what they like, which is no way to live. I agree. And with that, my dear friends, older equals serious, says Stoner Joe. That's unfortunate. You know, that's disgusting that you're assuming that as you get older, you just have to be serious and lose all the fun. Come on now. Yeah, Amy was a better fit for Uncharted. Absolutely. I agree. When it comes to, the tone of that game. All right, let me let you guys know something real quick. This is really important, by the way. You see our sponsors over here, right? I want to introduce you to a new friend of mine here. Listen to this. Listen what she has to say about these sponsors. It's crazy.
Please check out our sponsors at the link tree. They are good people and good products, and how dare you not go visit them. I am no longer moisty, but am mostly sad now. I love you. Gavin and the games for the win. Yeah, baby.
She's crazy. She comes on every fucking show. Every show. But I also want to let you know, though, without the following people, we would have no show. The Gods of War are here. Mavizzle, who runs the Three Daddy podcast. I'll be on that pretty soon. Cody Thompson, Lee Perez, one of the creators of Trick Shot. Game apparently coming along pretty good. It's like Tony Hawk meets Quake. I love it. Rotten Tanuki of the Day One Patch Kids. Zach Procrastinates. We never see Zach around here. I wonder if he even watches the show, or his wife's like, what is this charge every month? I don't know if I've talked to Zach like once on Discord, and that's it. Where are you, Zach? Alex Plox, the great Alex Plox, who opens our show with his music. And of course, in the chat right now, Big Bad Eddie Torres, the world's biggest, greatest, and from what I understand from Margot Robbie, sexiest video game collector. Thank you, guys. Hey, there's Zach Procrastinates. He's actually watching. I never hear from you, Zach. Thank you for all the support. You've been a supporter since we had the Patreon. Look at that. Everybody give Zach Procrastinates a pickle tickle and a reach around and a flight in the Joker's helicopter. Yeah, that was a good one. And I also want to make it really clear, even though none of them chose to join me today in Calypso's lair, you sons of bitches, I do want to make it clear that we also are forever grateful. Hang on. Oh, I got to tell you that real quick. We are forever grateful, of course, to our Cult Calypso members, and I'd like to tell you who they are if I can fucking find that tab. Come on now. The Cult Calypso members, and then I want to show you something really cool. And then we're going to wrap it up and say our good nights, and we'll see each other hopefully in the morning. But first, I do want to let you say the Cult of Calypso members, all the members, of course, Diet Soda Soldiers, of course, but the Cult of Calypso members are a breed, special breed. Here's what they say. Here's who they are. Logan the Lurker, Slow Loris, Legends, Connor J, CD, Luca, which is what Pac-Man was originally going to say, Sean Dunlap, of the Dunlap Tire Empire, KJ Wars 85, Connor Steinbeck, of course, been around for 3 years, along with Melina Khan, 3 years plus. Golf Franchise, Film Gamer X. We also got, come on now. We also got Lutron, Brian Dooley, Rocker Matt, Master Luke, of course, Boogster, of course, Yorch, Muggin Dude, 26, JW Conglomerate, we talked to him today, Paria Fakihi, Joe Loskowitz, Brady Moore, Jarvie Rocks, Cantankerous Games, Craig Hooligan, Hungry Adventures, and of course, 38 months, Master Dragon 2048. Thank you, guys, y'all knuckleheads. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very, very, very much. Listen to this now. Let me tell you something. I want to show you 3 quick things. I'm sure you guys will hate this because you guys hate every fucking thing that isn't already proven out. This is from CES. Do I want this? Yes, I want this. This is called Space Top. It is a laptop that doesn't have a screen. Why not, you say? Well, look.
Your space is perfect. It's exactly what you want. Exactly what you need. It's where you do your best work. Where you focus. Where you find your creative flow. Your space means everything to you. And now, your space has no limits. Introducing the world's first augmented reality laptop. Because the best part of your space is that it's yours.
It's an AR laptop.
Meet Spacetop.
That's all it is. You got the computer and the camera and the glasses. And you can have massive screens wherever you... It doesn't have 2 screens. It's got infinite screens wherever you go. I've played with something like this on the MetaQuest, and it's great. Oh my God. That exists already. I know, but they announced this one, and it's better, and it's cheaper. It's like $2,400. I can do it on the goddamn MetaQuest too, but it's not as good. You can't read everything. This is pristine, clear vision. Imagine sitting on a goddamn bus. You don't have to fucking work. You can watch a goddamn movie on a huge screen. On an airplane. Come on, man. God damn. Get with the future, people. Get excited about something. Fuck. Shit. All right, fine. CR says, Jaffe's a 3D artist. This kind of tech would be amazing. The tech's just not there yet. But having depth perception when you're trying to model something in 3D space, the next step. Okay, I appreciate it needs to get better for certain things. But I've used it with much lower tech than this. And it's cool. So for flat screens, it's awesome. I mean, in my opinion. But that's okay. Let me show you something else. If that doesn't get your motor running, maybe this will. I hear you, Daniel. You don't like the name Spacetop. They're busy being computer geniuses, Daniel. Their marketing is not their strong suit. Okay. Look at this. Now, you got to be old. Daniel, you're not as old as me. You probably remember when Halloween costumes looked like this. Ben Cooper was the people who made them. And if you ever want your mind blown, go Google Ben Cooper Spider-Man. Steve Ditko ripped off the Spider-Man design from Ben fucking Cooper. It's a crazy story, and it's true. But regardless, though, these are what the costumes used to look like back when I was a kid. I didn't buy these. I had like Superman, Spider-Man, but this was it. You didn't have the great costumes you had today. Well, this company has made action figures. Look at this. You can buy Ben Cooper action figures based on their earliest Halloween costumes. Come on now. I'm going to get some of these. Right now, you can only buy them in a full pack. I don't want to spend $150 on action figures, but if I can get a handful of them for the back shelf, you goddamn know I will. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to leave you tonight on some very sad news. Not even fucking with you. Some sad fucking news. Look at this. It's also a good lesson for us all. The lesson of impermanence. Everything goes away, including you. So enjoy it while you got it, kids. Look at this. Fruit Stripe gum has been discontinued. I love this person who, actually, it's not this one. Somebody else wrote it perfectly, but they basically said, Fruit Stripe, it's so good. And it's so delightful and so sweet, but it also runs out of flavor in about 10 seconds. So you got to chew the whole fucking pack to get your fill. But they're getting rid of it. It's been around for a long goddamn time. What is it? Well, introduced in the 60s. So it's been around for 60 years at this point. Comes with little tattoos. I tried to go online today and order some. It was already $80. 80 fucking bucks on eBay. You can't get them anymore. Sad. Sad is what it is. Sad when people be throwing away a perfectly good white boy. You ever see that movie? But you know what, though? Eddie T says, I hate when classic candy gets discontinued. Yeah, me too. But I went to Amazon. I was looking for this. I didn't see that. But I did see those candy cigars. And I ordered a bunch of those candy cigars for like $28. Like the pink one and the yellow one. I always love the yellow one. And Zots, that's right. Hello, Player976. Jaffe, do you think Sony will make another PSP? I don't think so. I don't think they should. But I haven't heard anything. I don't think they've been successful at it. I think they need to. I think they need to stay away for a while from these peripheral bullshit things and just get their house in order. Figure out how to deal with the Sean Layden problem when it comes to games not being sustainable with their current business model. Shut up. You know what I'm talking about. They're number one. I know. It's called peering into the crystal ball and seeing the future. But yeah, no, I hope not. There was not Wonka candy tie-ins for the movie. It's a good point. I saw the craziest chocolate bar in, I don't even know where the fuck I was. It was like last week, but it was big and fucking thick, and it was beautifully wrapped. It looked like a fucking prop from the Willy Wonka movie with Gene Wilder. It was fantastic. It's fantastic. Anyway, fellas, there you go. That has been the Gabbin' and the games. I will be back tomorrow morning, sometime around 9 or 10, or I don't fucking know when. In the morning, just keep your ear to the tracks. For Good Morning Gamers, we'll talk about some UFO stuff, some game stuff, some geek stuff. Take a lot of calls. You know how it goes. That'll be tomorrow in the morning. And then I'll be back Thursday at 5, for Gabbin' and Games. And in the meantime, my tiny human friends, be well, be safe, be good, blah, 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 blah. I enjoyed spending time with you today. I hope you felt the same. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, Daniel. Love to the family. Say hello to everybody, please. See you guys.